Hey folks, welcome back to the Digital Imaging channel. I'm Will, and today I'm going to be giving you a demonstration of our Digital ReeL software platform. We talk a lot about Digital ReeL, or DR, in many of our other videos, so we thought it would be useful to show you a few use cases of what our clients use Digital ReeL for and see if that can apply to you. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you can continue to get more content like this. Before we jump into the use cases, I'm going to describe what Digital ReeL is. Digital ReeL is a digital archive solution that virtually replicates your microfilm, microfiche, and Aperture card records in a hosted platform. When we say virtually replicates, what I mean is that you're going to capture the historical context of the original physical records, so you always have that to go back to. Even though you now have digital images, you'll see the original representation of the physical record in a digital format. Digital ReeL was originally made for microfilm, but it now incorporates microfiche, Aperture cards, paper records, and digital to digital information as well. At a very high level, it lets you cross the river from analog to digital in a cost-effective fashion. I'm going to show you a couple examples of how we do that. So for use case number one, we're going to be in a public library setting and we're looking for microfilm. So what happens for many public libraries is they have patrons that'll come in, they'll say, I'm looking for some information on newspaper in the 1960s, let's say, and I'm looking for something about my aunt. What they'll do is the librarian will direct them to the microfilm collection. They'll say, here's all the microfilm we have. You can look for your title, you can look for the years, etc. And there's our reader printer over there. When you find your roll, go use it. You get on the microfilm reader printer, you put in the film, you scroll around, you find what you need, you print it out, then you have to go put the microfilm back. The librarians usually have to assist with that. They usually have to help the patrons use the reader printer. It's a common way, but there are some downsides to this, which is the microfilm gets used a lot. It has potential for damage, loss, or theft. Plus you're spending a lot of time teaching people how to use these outdated microfilm scanners, these reader printers, and handling physical microfilm. It's just a very laborious process. What I'm going to show now is if that collection was digitized and a patron wanted to access material, how that would work. So I'm in our sample data set here with this title. And when we look at this sample, it's not a massive data set. We have a couple rolls on here, so it looks smaller, but you can imagine if you have a collection of thousands of microfilm rolls or hundreds of rolls, there'd be many more pieces of data, many more years, many more titles, many more issues. In this case, we just have a couple rolls on here for a sample, so take that into consideration. But patron comes in, they say, yep, I'm gonna start looking around for my aunt. I find the year I wanna look in, I find the month, and we usually break these down by issue date. So you find the issue you're looking for, it pops up, and you can click around or just scroll through and try to find what you're looking for. Very simple way to do that. You find what you need, you move on. There's no handling of microfilm, no reader printers, no potential of loss or damage. It's all here digitally, and you see it's represented as the original film as well. Now let's try a much more applicable scenario where it saves everyone time and it gets someone exactly what they need very quickly. Same scenario, patron comes in, they're looking for some information about their aunt, let's say, and they don't know where the information is. Let's pretend there are 1,000 rolls of microfilm, tens of thousands of issues on these microfilm rolls, and they don't know where the information is. They just know their aunt's name. What they can do here is do a search, and her name is Anne Scribner. And what Digital ReeL will allow the patron to do is search across the entire collection almost immediately. So if you type Anne Scribner, you see the 8 results pop up, and there are a few instances of where that occurs. You can see it's highlighted with some context. Now in this case, because I just have a general search of Anne Scribner, you see that Anne shows up, Anne, Scribner, Scribner by itself, all these different iterations of that phrase. But I know I'm looking for a person with that specific name, so I'm going to put parentheses around that for a specific search. Now it drops down to 5 results, and I say, okay, which one do I want? Let's say I'm looking for this one. And the image appears here, and you see that Anne Scribner has been highlighted because that's the page it was found on. That's my aunt. I want to copy this piece of information. I want to make a print or a digital copy of it, but I only want that article and that picture. I can select that here. And then I can enhance the image by pulling up the grayscale, very applicable for libraries with all these photos and newspapers and whatnot. Do a quick adjustment, make it look a little bit cleaner, and then I can download this image. So you can imagine, instead of walking in, sorting through who knows how many microfilm rolls, physical rolls, scrolling around on the film trying to find the right image without the ability to search an entire dataset, compared to this quick search, you can see how much time it'll save for patrons as well as the staff. So it's a very common use case for our library clients in this scenario, and it shows the power of text search and the grayscale image enhancement. For this next use case, let's put ourselves in the role of a police department administrator, and our job is to handle requests from, let's say, lawyers, other officers saying, I need to find case files and reports for whatever reason, and I'm handling the microfilm. So a common scenario may be that you get a request, you go to the microfilm collection, maybe a couple hundred rolls. The rolls might be labeled with years and case ranges. So you find the related case range, you put it on the microfilm reader printer. Again, you have to search around finding that information, find that case, and then print or digitize those images, then refile the microfilm and start all over with the next request. Let's say it takes 10-15 minutes per request to go through that whole cycle. Now let's say you have your collection digitized and you're in digital ReeL. You get a case request, you go to the microfilm collection, and let's say it was from 1970. You find the range you're looking for, and what pops up is the first image on that roll. And very quickly, I will say these are not actual police department records. These are official records, so there's no sensitive information on here. They're not police files, just a sample. So you go to the roll, and similar to the physical microfilm, because this roll is not indexed to the case file level, you'd scroll around to find the specific case file. Let's just pretend that this was the beginning of the case you're looking for, and it's a 4-page document. You select the 4 pages. Now you have your 4-page document. As you can see, I'm clicking through, just showing that it is a 4-page document. From there, you can download it, print it, whatever you need to do, get it to the person that requested the file, and you're done. There's no handling the physical film, there's no refiling, you're done. It takes a couple minutes compared to the 10 to 15 minutes. You're saving a lot of time by having this quick method. Now, what you can do, and some police departments like doing, is actually indexing to the case file level. So instead of seeing a range, instead of finding the year or however it's organized in your system and seeing a range and just going to the beginning of a roll, you would actually have individual case file numbers listed here, and you could just click on that and go to the exact part on the roll that starts that document, and it's even more rapid. However, that does become more expensive. So going back to that high level overview, this is the simplest way to get you from hard copy, analog, to digital, much quicker, much less time finding the data you need. You get it quickly, it's familiar, you're done. You can always do more indexing later, but in this case, it gets the job done. You don't have to spend an excessive amount of money to get that indexing. You have what you need. It takes a couple minutes and you're done. On to use case number 3. Let's put ourselves in the role of a building department employee. Common scenarios that local residents will come in, or contractors, and they'll ask for records of specific addresses and properties, and they need the permit information, permit application information, plans, etc. In this case, these are permit applications. So if you're a building department, and let's say you have Aperture cards as we're using here, you may have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of Aperture cards, each with individual records filed away in numerous cabinets you have to go find, pull out, get on the reader printer, scan them, put them back. All that refiling, all that finding, there's a lot of potential for misfiling or just losing data and just spending a lot of time finding these records. But in this new way, in digital ReeL, you don't have to worry about the physical records. You just have to go into the application, search what you need, find it, and you're done. So what we're going to do is, let's assume a resident came in and said, hey, I'm at 35 Lakewood. I need the records related to that property. Can you get them for me? Sure. One way I could find this record is to actually go kind of the Windows file structure way. Go down, click the L, find the address, then find the number, then find the permit. But because there are hundreds of thousands of records in this data set, what I'd rather do is just do a quick search. I start typing and Lakewood pops up. And I know that I'm looking for 35. I don't know the application. I just want to see which records are associated with that address, so I do a search. 3 results come up, and let's just say I wanted to pull this permit. And I'm taken to that Aperture card, which has the information about the address up here, the permit application number, and then the actual files related to that. I click out here, I see that there are 2 files. I can select those, adjust them if I need to, and export them, provide them to the resident that requested the files or the contractor, whoever it is, and I'm done. No handling of physical records, no refiling, not a lot of time spent. Takes 30 seconds and we're done. You just got 3 examples of how our clients use digital ReeL, and we hope that one of them resonated with you. There are many ways to use DR, so let us know if you're interested in learning more. For videos that cover specific features of digital ReeL in detail, check out our training videos playlist, which we've linked to in the description below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we make more videos like this. Thanks, see you next time.